Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Nick Lydorf. Thanks so much for joining me on episode 69 of Off the Clock. I'm very excited. I got a really special guest for you, and so thanks for tuning in live. Make sure you follow her. We'll get to her in a second, and make sure you like and subscribe to the channel too. I'm going to be doing one Facebook Live per day for the year 2021. Is it ambitious? Is it stupid? Is it both? Who knows? But I'm going to do it. And I am very excited to welcome my guest here tonight. Let's welcome Natalie Whittingham-Burrell. Natalie, hey.
Hi.
Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
Happy to. Thank you for inviting me.
For sure. So we're both lawyers, and so what started your what made you want to be a lawyer? What was why did you get into it?
Yeah, so my mom was actually in the criminal justice system as a defendant when I was a kid, when I was in junior high school, and it impacted me. I saw the way that she was treated. I saw the way that they dealt with her various issues, they being the attorneys who represented her, the prosecution, the judge, and I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. I want to do that for various reasons, either because I want to do better than how I saw this person doing or how I saw the other person doing. I was like, that's how I want to practice. And it just like got me fascinated. So since about junior high school, I wanted to be a lawyer.
Nice. Yeah, same for me too.
Let me get out of my
no worries.
Email, because that's what happens. And like it's connected to my phone. I thought I was sitting there silencing everything, and then that goes off. I'm so sorry.
Well, it's no worries. And that kind of brings up, it's a good place to talk about because, being lawyers, we're, super busy. And like when you're doing criminal defense, I've been doing it for 15 years and it's like you're always on. Is that your experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always on. I am always a thing that a lot of my clients, a lot of my viewers probably don't know is that, when I'm filming videos, like non-live videos, and I can only do lives like either like at my lunchtime or late at night. But when I'm filming videos pre-recorded, they are frequently interrupted by me, talking to my clients or talking to a judge or talking to co-counsel. Like I'm going to drop whatever I'm doing and take care of that first. And that goes on until about 8, 9 o'clock at night. Like I'm just always on call, I
know. It's frustrating. My thought, let me know what you think about this. My thought about criminal defense is I think it's probably one of the most difficult positions in law. I mean, just hands down. I don't think there's anything really tougher than that. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I've had a taste of other areas of practice here and there. And I think that the stakes are just higher in criminal law. I just think the stakes are much higher. What can happen to your client is a lot worse if you're doing criminal defense. Think about it with like non-criminal lawyers. I mean, whether or not you take client money or not, usually you have a wide latitude in civil practice to kind of conduct your case however you want to, as long as you don't steal your client's money, pretty much, like
right.
The time of phone calls and like, don't steal their money. That's pretty much it. But it's like, as far as like, client advisement is concerned, it's so important in our area. Discovery review, trial prep, motions prep. You're a constitutional scholar on top of everything else because you have to know the 4th, 5th, 6th Amendments, due process clause. You got to know everything. So I when I did workers' compensation, I hated it, like absolutely hated it. But it was hard for a different reason. It was hard because I found it to be tedious and boring. This is not tedious, nor is it boring.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
I know, and that's like so. I just turned 40, and I know I don't look I thank you. I look amazing, right? I was just
absolutely.
So now I got to this point in my life where it's been so stressful for me because I just care like so much, and I have a very difficult time, trying to shut it off, and it's gotten to the point where like I want to live to year 50. So I've gotten way more selective on the criminal defense cases I take, and I want to do more boring stuff. So I've kind of really heightened up like the estate planning, and because I really like. And I do like criminal defense. It's just like burning me out. But what's your favorite part about being a criminal defense lawyer? Is it trial? Is it helping clients? Negotiations? What is it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, negotiations are my least favorite because I am contentious and adversarial by nature. And you need to be, kind of like come to the, table. Let's work it out,
Yeah.
So that's my least favorite. And I do that because I have to benefit my client. But on the inside, I'm like, I just want to try this case,
Yep.
So I would say that as far as my favorite things to do, top two, they're tied, is jury trial, not bench trial. I mean, obviously we do bench trials. I don't like bench trials. But I'll do them if it calls for it or something like that. But I need to talk to 12 people. I don't want a bench trial.
Sure. Right.
And so jury trials and motions practice, like motions to suppress illegally obtained evidence, is quite possibly my favorite thing to do as far as being a defense attorney is concerned. As I've gotten older or more experienced, I have become more enamored with the client interaction experience.
Yeah.
I was like a dogged trial attorney when I first started. So it was like, oh, okay, that's what you say happened, client. No, this is the better defense. This is what we're doing.
Right.
Don't you see how that's the better defense? Let me just do this so that we can win this case. I get it. Your feelings, that's cool. But and I just didn't see like the social work side of the job that we do. And as I think I've become more empathic as I've gotten older, especially I think because at the time that I first started practicing, many of my clients were my age, so I was like, yeah, ain't telling me nothing,
Right.
But now, they're a bit younger than me, and I feel for them. I'm like, you're just a kid who did something stupid,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's great. I can definitely identify with the empathic part of it. As you can see, there's all this. My wife is very woo-woo, so we're a very. She's a Reiki practitioner.
Yeah. Wow.
So she's always like, you're like, running out of energy. Your chakras are blocked, and like I don't even know where they. I don't know what chakras are, but something's blocked. I don't know, but so that's something that I've had to work with too, and that's trying to. I have a problem with boundaries, which as you mentioned, like we're getting calls at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, emails and all kinds of stuff. That's got to be hard.
Yeah. That is, I think, more of a problem for me now than when I went into the office, because when I went into the office, it was like, okay, I'm at the office from this time to this time. I'm in court from that time to that time. I'm going to go to the jail. Going to the jail could mean being there till 10 o'clock at night. But after I leave the jail, I'm done. I got a client call at 1 o'clock in the morning the other day, and I answered it, I answered it. They were calling from the jail, and I'm like, maybe something's wrong, why would they call me this? Or maybe they couldn't get to the phone at a different time. And I'm glad I answered it. There was actually something going on, but could it have waited until the morning? Likely it could.
Right. So that's a good point. Yeah, it is. We used to, back in the old days, back in about a year ago, actually, almost to the day, we used to be able to leave the office at the office, and now we're working at different places, and that's got to be hard to shut your phone off when it's always around. So what let's talk about your YouTube channel, because that's how I came to know you, and I love it. I love all the you mentioned recording them, at different times and late at night. So how do you find what you want to talk about with your videos, and what's your point of view? What are you trying to say with each one of them?
Yeah. So at first, the way that I found what I wanted to talk about was my husband actually suggested, oh, you should react to these sovereign citizen videos. And I was like, who would care about what I have to say about? I mean, they are inherently crazy. Who cares what I have to say about it? He's like, no, trust me, give it a shot. I gave it a shot. It went well. And so I was like, okay, sovereign citizen videos. And then from there, I was asking people, suggest to me what you want me to, react to. I still pick things here and there that I'm interested in, like popular topics that I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, it comes from listener, viewer feedback. They tweet me, they DM me on Instagram, they email me, and they say, could you please react to this? And I'm still blown away by the fact that they care what I have to say about any of this stuff. It's just like, yes, it's from a lawyer's perspective, but I'm still just like a lady talking to my camera or my phone or whatever. Right. What I'm trying to get across is that the law, no matter what side you're on, defense or prosecution, the law should come out a certain way if justice is done, right? And you have to take a lot of factors into consideration. There's like mitigation and life issues, and then there's the elements of the offense and police misconduct versus no misconduct, judge misconduct versus no judge misconduct. And pointing out, no matter what side of the spectrum that you're on, this is what should happen in a situation like this. Mm-hmm. And also, I want the law to be more accessible to people. I think a lot of this like sovereign citizen stuff comes out of the inaccessibility of law. People perceive it to be this like really, intricate thing, which it is, right? But really intricate thing that, you need to speak certain code words in order to crack the code, in order to get in on it. And it's just like, well, here are the actual code words you need to look for. Here's the Fourth Amendment, here's the hearsay rule.
Right.
Here's this and here's that. Here's what jurisdiction actually means. So it's like,
right.
Here's when you would really raise the issue of jurisdiction. Here's why this person ended up in contempt. So that, I want them to get lawyers if they're ever in trouble. I don't ever want them to be in trouble in the first place. Right. But you understand the framework through which you watch the legal system, not just the criminal justice system, but the legal system. It's like such an important part of our society is what happens inside of a courtroom. And so many people get their concept of that from television. Or misinformation, so I'm just trying to provide information with a little bit of entertainment because, I like to laugh at the end of the day,
Yeah, same. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting that now with COVID and everything, a majority of hearings, being online, I don't know where you're at, but, about 90% of mine online, and how we're able to see people are able to see what's happening. All the judges have like a YouTube channel, like you can watch what's happening. What are your thoughts? You kind of mentioned that. I think you would say that's a good thing, right? More people are watching.
Yes, sunlight is the best disinfectant, right?
Absolutely.
I absolutely love that more things are online, more things are accessible to people. Because if you think about it, pre everything that's going on, people would only be in court if they were a witness or a party. That was it, Actually, I know people that are court watchers. Like that's what they do is like, that's their, it's like their charity work is that they do court watching. Right. And they have different organizations that watch for different reasons and get involved for different reasons. But that's not most people.
Right.
And I think that people would be able to be more informed and have input into the prosecutors that they elect, the sheriffs that they elect, the judges that they elect, if they saw them live in action in court, Yep,
absolutely. Yeah, that's a really good point. And, I have, I think at first there were some courts that I think maybe were a little bit concerned with having a YouTube link because I think they treated people like garbage. At least there were some courts that I went to. And hey, guess what? Now it's a little bit different because you can watch what's going on.
Yeah. Where I work, they're not uploading them to YouTube. They are trying to limit the links. It's a thing that we're working. Yeah, the Zoom links, they're trying to limit who can get them, even though like it's unconstitutional in my opinion. Because
for sure. Right.
The Constitution says public trials, public hearing, court is a public forum. And the only way for it to be public with the courthouse closed down or limited is to share the link with everyone. And they are literally telling us, the defense attorneys, don't share the link. Don't share the link. We're still sharing because it's everyone's right to view it. Like absolutely everyone's right to view it.
Yeah, that's really interesting. That well, I'm glad you're
we're pushing back. We're not just taking that sitting down. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So I read an article about you, and was it 2020 that you were actually sued, right? Is that so? Yeah. Do you want to talk about that? Can you talk to the audience about that?
Yeah. So the lawsuit was actually filed in 2019. It was resolved in 2020.
Okay.
As you know, lawsuits don't end quickly. Lawsuit ended pretty quickly for a lawsuit, but it was still, it took up about a year of my time, maybe a little bit less. November to August it took up of last year.
And what was that?
Yeah. So it's a really crazy story.
Yeah.
So I
love crazy stories.
Yeah. So I use pseudonyms when I talk about the situation, not because I have to, but only because this person deserves absolutely no more attention whatsoever. That's all it is, and it does involve a co-defendant, and she just, doesn't want anything to do with any of this, and it's completely understandable. So I was on my friend, we'll call her Keisha's Facebook page. My friend Keisha had a screenshot of this other person, we'll call her Rita. My friend Keisha is my friend from high school. So we went to high school together. That's how we know each other. This person, Rita, is her friend from acting classes. So they know each other from trying to be actresses. So she shares a post by this person named Rita. She doesn't actually share it. She screenshots it. Rita is not tagged in it. Rita asks to be tagged in it. This all comes out in like Discovery and stuff like that. And Keisha won't do it. She doesn't tag her. She doesn't want to like cause anything. But the post said, I don't date Black guys because I'm not interested in men of that race. Am I a racist? Or does that make me racist? And so because she wasn't tagged, I did not know that Rita was there, right? I didn't know she was like going through the comments and commenting, like she really wanted to talk to everybody. And so I said, other people said no, some people said yes. And there's like really, it's a seriously debatable question, right? Like I really can understand both sides of the argument, but I said, hey, the fact that you feel the need to announce it when nobody asked you anything, like it's just your Facebook, hey, peace. I saw someone say peace, Natalie.
Oh, yeah.
When someone just said, you just like put this on Facebook, I was like, the fact that she feels the need to announce it makes me think that maybe it's racism. And then it was like that. That's literally how I said it. It wasn't definitive, but I was like, it's not what she said. It's the need to announce it on Facebook. I think it's kind of weird. I think maybe it's racism. She responded to me about her zodiac signs and all this type of stuff. And it was off to the races from there. Because of the zodiac sign, that's why she said what she said.
All right.
It blew up. The whole thing blew up. There were hundreds of comments at the end of it. And I'll say we went back and forth. It was a very, very heated exchange. At the end of it, she said she was going to sue me. I said, for what? She said, because you are misrepresenting me to be a racist. I said, you asked if you were a racist. And I wasn't even talking to you. I was talking to my friend.
Yeah.
Well, I said, okay, girl, you go ahead and sue me. Let's see what happens when you do that. That was like October. I go get married.
Yeah, nice.
So I'm not thinking about her, right? Destination when I go get married. Nice. I come back from my wedding and I get served with a lawsuit.
Oh my God.
The basis of the lawsuit, though, was that not only that, she hurt my feelings, she called me, a racist. The basis of the lawsuit was that someone had taken the things that she said. And let's just be clear. It wasn't so much the original post that she made that was overtly racist. I thought it was kind of like, undercover. It was the same thing she said to me afterwards. Like she called me a ghetto hood rat. She called me.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. She said she was going to burn me with fire. She said she didn't want any Black friends ever again because
holy shit.
Had set her up. So the first thing that I said that she said, I think most white people would say, I don't really see how that's racist. But as a Black person, I was like, when white people say things like that, it's usually pointing to some other type of like hidden race. And again, people can have their dating preferences. It don't bother me at all. I don't care one way or the other. But she got so angry. And I wasn't the only person that said it. But like I said, I was a hood rat. I was a B word. She stopped short of calling me the N word, but she never wanted to be black friends again. She said, me and Keisha all live in a ghetto neighborhood, and she didn't want to be in the ghetto. And that by Keisha sharing, I mean, you're a defense attorney, so you've seen like implicit bias and things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
By Keisha sharing her post, it was like her going to the ghetto and screaming that she doesn't like black men, and then she sicked all the black hood rats on her, right?
Oh my God. All the people
so I always like forget to like, not always forget. Obviously, when I represented myself, I put that in emotion. But when I tell the story, I'm like, I thought it was a pretty innocuous conversation. But there is the fact that she maligned me repeatedly. And she also like called me a bunch of names and stuff. But I didn't malign her back. I just said, go ahead and sue me. I don't care. So she sues me. Turns out someone took a screenshot of all those things that she said. Ghetto hood rats, I'm going to burn you with fire, black tyrants, don't want to go to black neighborhoods, don't like black people anymore. Basically, you get like, I used to stick up for you when you get killed, but now you get what you deserve and stuff.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, she was a mess. So someone took those screenshots and shared them with her employer and with her talent manager. It was apparently shared via email and via this Twitter account that looks like it's based out of New Jersey, right? So it's an anonymous person that did it. It wasn't me. I always say that. It was not me. I didn't do it because I left and got married. So I'm not thinking about it. And it's a Facebook argument. Who's going to take a Facebook argument into the real world? I don't care nothing about
that happens all the time.
I'm not going to, people say ridiculously disgusting things on Facebook. And if I reported all of them to their employers, I wouldn't have any free time, And the worst part, I think, in my opinion, because I'm a big girl and I can handle myself, is that she sued Keisha. And Keisha never said she was racist. No matter all the stuff that she said, she blocked Keisha and cursed Keisha out and shared Keisha's face on her Facebook profile and told people to go dox Keisha. And then sued her. Yeah. She said, she needs to get fired. She needs to get fired. But then when she got fired, she sued me. She sued Keisha. So I had to represent myself. Well, I didn't have to represent myself. I had quite a few friends that were like, I could have represented you, but.
So where did she sue you?
In LA court. And I live in Maryland. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, obviously. So, okay. Yeah. So again, a very, very interesting case. So So I get this lawsuit, and then here's my husband to the rescue again. He's like, man, this sounds like an anti-slap motion waiting to happen. And I was like, what the heck is an anti-slap? And he was like, I was just watching John Oliver, and he had a whole episode on anti-slap, strategic lawsuit against political participation. So I am speaking out against racism. She doesn't want me to speak out against racism. She wants to stop me from being able to talk. That's the purpose of the motion of the lawsuit. And so I could file a motion to dismiss the lawsuit and get back the money that I had to file in order to defend myself. And it's not cheap to defend yourself in California. Like the filing fees are like $500 just to file like one thing. And then $7, everything subsequently after that. Every new big motion is like $700. And you have to like pay to reserve the courtroom when you want to have a hearing. And
oh my God.
Her lawyer participated in some of the most like disgusting practices that I've ever seen a lawyer do.
I was just going to ask you about what because what kind of person would file that in the first place?
I mean, him, I have no problem with saying his name because he's a bad person. Salar Accusata, he is a bad person.
All right.
He is a bad person.
How do you spell his last name? I'm going to look this up.
Atrizadeh. He did a few things that were pretty gross. First of all, obviously, I'm here in Maryland. He's all the way over in California. It's clear that this is from an anonymous account. And the only reason that you sued me was because you can Google me and find my information because I'm a lawyer. You can find me. Lawyers know how to find lawyers. There's certain things we can look at. We can figure out where we are. So He finds me. He finds Keisha. Keisha's Facebook says that her employer is Dunder Mifflin, and he puts that in the lawsuit. So he clearly doesn't have a sense of humor. He didn't know what Dunder Mifflin was.
Oh my God.
To this day, we laugh about that.
Holy shit.
Yeah, absolutely hilarious.
Oh my God.
Poor Keisha was completely on her own. She's not a lawyer. She didn't,
Right.
But I just I had to represent myself, unfortunately. So, so as far as like the kind of shady things that he did, he scheduled a deposition in California for 3 days from the day that he notified us of the deposition, and did not consult anyone to schedule the deposition. That is a big time no. You didn't talk to me at all. The deposition was with her former talent manager. He did it after I filed the anti-SLAPP motion, which stays all discovery. Deposition is discovery. What are you doing? Yep. So then I had to file an emergency motion. I had to pay to file that emergency motion to get the deposition recalled. Wow. He hired an expert witness, and Rita posts everything to her Facebook that was going on with the case. So I knew everything that was happening because of what she was saying, basically. And so I knew that she spent $20,000 to retain him.
Oh my.
And an additional, what was it, $10,000 or $5,000? So some exorbitant number for the expert. As an attorney, I take offense to that because this is a frivolous lawsuit. It's frivolous, and you're charging this woman. It should be a contingent.
Contingent, yeah.
It never be a $10,000 retainer. So he had to eat up that retainer. So because the case was about to die, right, at the time that he got the expert. And what was the expert in? She was a forensic document examiner, which is a handwriting expert, who looked at my Twitter and said, based on the things that I put on Twitter, I clearly was the same person that had the New Jersey account. That's
my God,
her employer. So then
that's insane.
Yeah. So not only did I come up with a timeline with relevant screenshots, data location, I had my VPN, all types of things showing, where I was at certain times, to show, look, this person that tweeted at her employer or her talent manager or whatever, they said that they were on the New Jersey Transit bus on December 3rd, 2018. Well, on that day, I was in Puerto Rico, so it couldn't have been me, right? This person took a picture outside of the New York City blood bank. On that day, I was in court. Here's the court docket where I appeared and argued a motion to dismiss. Couldn't have been me. Wow. So clearly, this is not my account. And I argued, of course, as far as the document examiner was concerned, that first of all, if you're an expert, you have to be an expert in the area that you are opining on, right?
Yes.
And when you compare the way that someone speaks or writes to the way that someone else speaks or writes, that is not handwriting analysis. That is a psychological profile, right? Yeah. All this person has is an online certificate based on her CV, an online certificate from an FDE online course. And I don't see anywhere where she's been recognized in this court to be an expert to opine on this type of issue. The judge threw out the thing right away, right?
Oof, that's good.
Of course, the judge finds in our favor. She awards us costs, and then Rita moves to Florida to get away from the judgment.
It's so great that Florida finds its way into this somehow.
It's right where she needs to be. It's right where she needs to be.
She fits in quite well. Wow.
Yeah. So that was a fun, not fun, right? But it's always a fun story to tell. Like that time I got sued by a racist, because I always like starting the story with, listen, if you're not sure if the first thing she said was racist, I'm with you. But everything else she did after that, and let me just be very, very clear. As the lawsuit was ongoing and the judge was dismissing his filings, and I was filing these motions and those, because I filed a demurrer, I filed a motion to quash, I filed an anti-SLAPP motion, I filed a motion for sanction. All of those things were eventually granted. Her attorney was losing in court. I could tell that he was lying to his client about what was actually happening, because she wasn't appearing. He was appearing on her behalf. So she would say, my attorney told me I had a great day in court today. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
Yeah. I'm gonna get those ghetto hood rats. I'm gonna get them.
Oh my God.
Oh, and the language against me and Keisha, who's also Black, by the way. The language against me and Keisha got worse and worse and worse. I mean, it was everything. then she got anti-Semitic, which was even crazier.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know what that was all about, because like, I mean, but like all racism is like part and parcel of one another, like people, no one is ever like limited to just one group of people.
Just one. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not like, I mean, I shouldn't say no one. There might be someone out there. I don't know everyone. I'm just saying. But she did this thing where she like changed her profile picture to the face of, it was like a cat that looked like Hitler. And then
oh my God,
all of her pictures and replaced them with a bunch of different cats. And by look like Hitler, like it was just their markings that made them look that way.
Yeah.
She defended David Duke.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, she said she defended David Duke. She said, why is he so bad? If Black gangbangers can kill each other, why is David Duke so bad? I'm like, girl, that's super racist.
Yeah, that's next level.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's really, really sad when you think about it. Because she's, in my estimation, I don't believe that she's well. And I think that she was taken advantage of by an attorney who was unscrupulous. I mean, she brought it on herself, but still, a good attorney would have told her no,
Yeah. That's a crazy story. And so you wrote an article for medium.com.
I did.
And that, I mean, it got like a lot of attention. Is that what started you on your YouTube channel, or what?
So it's good that you actually asked that. I love that question, because when I first restarted YouTube, because I restarted, it was like, oh, I've got time now and everything. But it was right after the lawsuit ended that I really ramped it up. Because like something about it re-energized me,
Because it sounds like you had something to say. You had something you wanted to say. Right.
Yeah. Okay. It re-energized me. And I think the first like video that I had that had any views was the live stream where I discussed I got sued by a racist,
Yeah.
Or I got sued for calling someone a racist. So yeah, I do think that, it re-energized me. Oh, I do want to tell you one thing I think you'll find interesting.
For sure.
Sorry.
Oh yeah. No. Go ahead.
I'm great. But Twitter was brought in as a party to the claim because he wanted to get the records from Twitter.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And not my records, which doesn't make any sense. He didn't ask for my Twitter records. That he didn't also ask for my Twitter records doesn't make any sense to me. But he asked solely for the Twitter records of the account that contacted her employer.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
To find out like who the Twitter subscriber, was.
Yeah.
Or where they were located. And he filed a motion to it was a motion to compel or something like that, a motion for tangible evidence or something. And at first I objected because, again, we were in the period of time where discovery was not allowed. And I wanted it to be determined on the arguments alone that this was a frivolous lawsuit. But then when we got to the hearing on my objection, I withdrew it. And I was just like, you know what? Go ahead and get the Twitter records because it's not my Twitter account. I don't care. Yeah. Okay. Then Twitter objects to the records being disclosed because that Twitter will protect you, right? They'll protect your information. They protect online anonymity because it's one of like the selling points of their platform. Yeah. And so they fought and they said no. And if you don't file a motion to compel, then the objection is accepted within 15 days. And then the subpoena for tangible evidence is dismissed. He never filed a motion to compel. So he was never able to get the records from Twitter. Why would you do that? That was so weird to me. And I think I figured it out because he got the subscriber information for the email account that emailed the employer, not the one that tweeted at them. The email account that emailed the employer or the talent manager or something like that. And that email account was out of New Jersey, like how the Twitter account seemed like it was. Yeah. And I think when it was clear that this isn't going to come back to Natalie and this isn't going to come back to Keisha, he like let it lapse. But I think that's malpractice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's malpractice to let a subpoena for tangible evidence from twitter.com to lapse, Yeah.
That's so going back to this for a second. So when you're filing your motions and the case is going on, are you having to fly there and do that? Or
Everything was over the phone. Thank goodness.
Okay, great.
If it had gone to trial, then I would have had to go there, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's why I was trying to get rid of that case.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow. So did you have to get, well, so you're representing yourself. You didn't have to, didn't you try and get admitted to that? You were just a party, so you didn't really have to do anything there, right? You didn't have to file. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I could have tried to go pro hoc vice through a, but I still would have been, self-represented.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so then going back to, really starting back up the YouTube channel, feeling like you had some stuff to say, I'm sure that was a very stressful period in your life. Cause you're, and it gives you a unique perspective as a lawyer because you're now a party. Did you have to get your deposition taken?
No, because I stopped discovery from happening, except for the Twitter subpoena and the subpoena for the email records. I stopped all other discovery. So no, I didn't have to do a deposition.
I've had my deposition taken. It's not fun. As a lawyer, it's not good.
That'll be horrible. The rules are real loosey goosey. They can just basically ask you anything, huh?
Yeah, and especially when the lawyer asking you questions like is a complete dope, it's hard to be very reserved and restrained and not say, do you want to ask me this? I think you want to ask me that. But so getting to where you did a live video where you talked about this, I got sued by a racist, and so then you saw the reaction to that, and you're like, this is cool, and you liked doing it, obviously, right? So and then it just kind of just went from there.
Right? It started to feel like, and still feels like, not work. And that's why I'm able to do it as consistently as I am. It's fun and it doesn't feel like work, right?
Yeah.
I work a full day or more than a full day, but it's something that I can nip away, film a video real quick, maybe do a 1 hour live on my lunch break, and it's fun. It's exciting. I enjoy talking to my subscribers. I enjoy interacting with them. I like giving them the content that they want to see,
Right.
So it just became like, and it was like an outlet because I was like a real like drama type of kid when I was younger. And by drama kid, I mean in theater, and on the choir and on the dance team. I was always like doing something. And I, as an adult, haven't really been able to scratch that itch. So it's nice, at 36 to find like your like passion project again. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And the reason I started is just because we did, pandemic, we weren't doing shows anymore, and I got to do this. This is, I found my passion kind of later in life at 32, and I was like, how was I not doing this for like all this time? And so yeah, just I like to set ridiculous goals, and shoot for the stars, and then aim for the moon or whatever happens. I don't know. You shoot for the moon and land up in the stars. I don't know what it is, but
I don't know.
So yeah, how did you when you watch these sovereign citizen videos, because those are the ones I've watched the most of yours, and what are the emotions going through when you're watching these? Are you do you feel empathy? Are you mad? Are you what is it? Are you fascinated? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm rarely mad. Okay. I sometimes, so like how in the movie there's like a bad guy or like a mischievous character. A lot of the times I like those characters, like like the agent of destruction or mischief, like a mischievous type of thing. And some of them to me are just mischievous, like causing inconvenience to people more than necessarily harmful. Like they're like annoying, but that's pretty much it. And like I could deal with annoying, and I deal with it on a daily basis, and I don't mind it. I do feel a level of empathy for the sovereign citizen defendant, because sometimes you can tell that they've just been led astray, and that's really sad. I really do think that had someone gotten to them with the correct information up front, that they could have been an amazing lawyer. If they were given the same opportunities, they could have been a great lawyer, but they feel like their way to shine, and it just like it doesn't work. And so I feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
A lot of secondhand embarrassment, a lot of that.
Yeah, I know. As I'm watching a lot of these more videos, you touched on something I want to talk to you about is the people that are making money off of selling this way of arguing to people. I'm just learning of that. And that blows my mind. And
that's wrong.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All kinds of wrong. And it's just some of those videos I like, and I like watching those. And the comments are turned off. I don't know. No one's ever allowed to comment on those videos. That's very interesting. Yeah. What's your favorite one that you've reviewed thus far?
Oh, that's hard to say.
If you had to pick, yeah.
Let me think on that. Give me a second. I'm gonna look at them real quick because my memory is bad, and at this point I've done a lot of them. Right. So the first one of the first ones that I did was where I was like, Keisha, no. And her name was Keisha. And she was like, I'm not going to go into the well of the courtroom, Your Honor. Like, and it was just like a regular like traffic citation. And she ended up getting arrested. And I was like so disappointed in her. Yeah. Oh, you know what? This one is hard to say is like a favorite in like a good way or whatever. But it's a favorite because it shows the collateral damage. So they're a family in a car in front of their house and like a tail light is out or something like that. And the officer stops him, runs his information. He's on his sovereign citizen crap. So the girlfriend or wife, his wife is in the car with the baby in the back and the baby has like medical issues. And the wife is like, don't pull this sovereign citizen crap with this officer right now. We need to go take our baby to like go do whatever, like go to her doctor's appointment or whatever. And we don't have time for this. And of course, he pulls the sovereign citizen crap. Man. Anyway, the car gets towed. And then as the car is getting towed away, like it's not a happy moment, but it's her going, I told you, and all you other stupid sovereign citizens that let this be a lesson to you. This crap doesn't work. And I was just like, it's the collateral damage. It's the like salient argument by her, like that this stuff doesn't work. It's all of that. It's all of that.
Yeah. That's, I think I like, that's a great story. I got to watch that one. My favorite one is the David Hall. Do you remember that one? It's the John Hurley is the judge, and he's got his own and then David Hall he's not the person.
The representative.
Oh my God, that judge is hilarious. Like he's like, hold on, let me write this all down.
So the representative, the person, the trustee, David Hall.
Right. And then David Hall's like, he gets very upset that the judge doesn't get it. He's like, of course, I'm appearing here not as the representative, David Hall. Yeah,
and I'm happy to settle this matter. So he's trying to pretend like he's being like really reasonable. I'm happy to settle this matter anytime, Your Honor. I mean,
there's a great screenshot that I took. It's on my desktop where there's a guy behind David Hall waiting up to go next, and he's just like, oh God, I gotta go next after David Hall. This is so great.
One of your viewers just said he is the agent, the settler, the individual, but not the person.
There you go. Nailed it, John. Way to go.
Awesome. And someone said that they liked the one where the guy who got 10 years when it was a small traffic.
Yes.
Oh, you know what?
I haven't seen that one.
I thought of that. Have you seen that one?
I haven't seen the one. I gotta watch that.
It is so good. Okay, here's why it's good. It just starts off with a simple traffic infraction. That's it, right?
Okay.
Then he refuses to pay the infraction. I think it was like a suspended sentence plus a traffic infraction. And the judge is like, please just pay this. And he's like, I'm not going to do it. And there's like, I'm going to continue this for you to pay. And he's like, not going to do it. Right. Mm-hmm. He goes to the defendant, goes to the judge's house, leaves a note. Oh my God. Threatens him, threatens his wife, and then gets charged with, intimidating a judicial officer and gets 10 years in prison and represented himself in the case and acted a plum fool in court. was
You
like,
gotta watch that. This is
no,
good.
you gotta watch that. I did react to that one, and it's really like, how do you turn a traffic citation into 10 years in prison?
Wow.
He's still in prison. Like, he literally did that.
There's a great end to that David Hall video where David Hall's not on the screen, and then the public defender and Judge Hurley are talking, and he basically Judge Hurley says that he got sued by the sovereign citizen group of the local ones and stuff. So he said, yeah, I got sued for like $10 million by the sovereign citizen group.
He was way too nice for someone who had been sued by them, because even as I know, the most frivolous of lawsuits can be such a pain in the behind. You know?
And well, that leads me to a good. I want to ask you, what kind of backlash have you received since you've talked about these? I know I've gotten some in the 30 days that I have, but what's your experience so far?
I would love to hear about yours too, but I have no problem sharing mine. So so my backlash has been kind of unique because I think it started more with the Moors than the traditional sovereign citizens. You know, the Moorish Americans are Black, and they'd be mad if I said that, but that's what they are. And they're Moors, they're not Black. But anyway, we just differ on that. So, but they I made a video reacting to one of them, and this guy came on, or I made a video reacting to a sovereign citizen. They have the same civic beliefs, just different like religious beliefs. Right. It was a sovereign citizen I was reacting to, and it was a judge that was just basically like, you know, stop the foolishness. I used to be a criminal defense attorney, and I've dealt with people that have really, really serious, you know, cases, and this is not a serious case, it's traffic citation. So stop the foolishness and let me move on to the next thing and nip this in the bud, you know? And so this guy commented on it, and he said that the judge was Black. And so he's like, the judge is a Moor, and he's a Freemason, and he's a part of the secret society, and blah, blah, blah. And I just responded like, that is incorrect. That's not true. Like, that's not, if it's not so secret of a society if you know about it, right? So then he started commenting even crazier stuff, and I was just like, blocked, and I blocked him. Well, then he emailed me. You don't have the right to block me. You know, you're violating my rights under the Second Amendment, and I thought you were the Constitution. But I'm sworn. You're sworn to uphold the Constitution, and you're violating my constitutional rights. Yeah. And so I didn't respond. I just put that. I made a folder called "Crazy People," and he was the first person to go in there for my YouTube. And he emailed me like, and I blocked him in Gmail. You know, I blocked him, and then he emails me from these different accounts at gorillamail.com, which is like an anonymous email server. And so he emails me over and over again, but he uses the same little picture for his signature page, so I know it's him, you know? Then he emails my husband, like he finds my husband's website. And so that all that's in the crazy people folder. And then I debated the Canaan Land Moors. The Canaan Land Moors came on my channel. They have their YouTube channel, and they came on my channel, and they were like, we're going to be just debunking this video. So there's a video where this Moorish American was talking about what people should do when they encounter law enforcement. It was all incorrect. So I was like, do not listen to what this guy says. It's all incorrect. You're going to get yourself in trouble. Last thing I want you to do. And they were like, this guy was weak, you know, because I did debunk him. So they were like, he's weak. And so we'll be debunking you. Right. And I was like, well, instead of debunking me, why don't you debate me? So I go on, I debate them. Like literally 30 minutes after that, I debate them. It was a crap show. It was so bad. But it was bad because they are, you know, irrational, nonsensical. The things that they're saying are not based in reality. So, and they wholly and fully believe the things that they're saying. And so you cannot disabuse someone of delusional beliefs. You just can't do that by
saying, debate.
That's not a debate. They're like, oh, the sky is purple. And I'm like, no, it's blue. And they're like, you're a house N-word. And I'm like, okay, cool. You know,
They said that to you?
Yeah, they said that to me twice.
Oh my God.
They said a whole bunch of things to me. Then they cursed me out. Then they told me, they like cursed me out bad. And this one guy like hops on at the end, and he was like, clearly in my, you know, pedestrian assessment, he was mentally unwell, like compared to the other ones who are like delusional, hold these beliefs, but can probably get by in society. This other guy was a little bit different. Like he was just like,
Yeah.
What's your nationality? What's your race? And I was like, what does that have to do with like, whether or not you have to have a driver's license,
Right.
What's your nationality? What's your race? And I was like, I'm not going to debate you, sir. You're not well. So anyway, they kicked me out. They basically shushed me out of this, scooted me out of there. Well, then they hit me up on Instagram, and then they hit me up on Facebook. My Facebook is private. It has nothing to do with like any of this stuff. Then they emailed me, bombarded me over and over again. Some of them said, oh, we put a virus on your computer. We've hacked your emails. We are referring you to Interpol.
Interpol, whoa.
Yeah, we're going to refer you to Interpol.
Wow.
And I told you about them emailing my husband and all types of stuff like that. And so I was just like, because I was going to debate them again. And I was like, okay, I'll debate you again when we have a moderator, let's do it again because you guys, I was like, and they think that they won, right? So I was like, well, if you think that you won, why are you emailing me and bombarding all of my videos with comments over and over again? Yeah. And then eventually one of them, the guy that runs the Canaan Lynn Moore's YouTube, he came to my channel on one of my videos that didn't even have anything to do with sovereign citizens and was like, we're going to be discussing you tonight, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, see, now you're just looking for attention, You're looking for attention. You want a bigger platform to talk about you so you can get a bigger platform. Not that my platform is big or was big at the time by any means, but it was bigger than theirs, Yeah. And I was like, you want attention. I'm not going to give it to you. So I blocked him and I blocked all of them. I will say this. There's one guy that was very kind. He's a Moorish American. He has the same belief system, but he made a video apologizing for their behavior. He's not associated with them. He was like, they're not a good representation of Moorish Americans. And I shared it to my community page. I thought it was only fair because even though we believe different things, he was very kind in saying that's not how we should be trained. Because I think that their religious belief is actually Islam from what he told me. And he was like, that's not what our religious teachings tell us to do. And these guys are like an offshoot. Yeah. They don't actually represent Moors. And I was like, well, I appreciate that. So I try to keep him at the front of my mind and just dismiss those crazy ones. But yes, I've had some experiences. So please tell me about that.
Well, no, that makes sense now because now this is all makes sense because I saw some videos on YouTube where it's just a dark screen and him talking over it and he's talking about you. So now that makes sense. Okay. Because then, and it was complete nonsense, but it was interesting. But so mine are just kind of more attacks on me. Like I'm a bald piece of shit. I don't know what I'm talking about, like stuff like that. Like if that's all you got, all right, that's fine. Am I wrong?
Right.
So that, and then just trying to email me, same kind of thing. Like trying to, if I'm at a point in my life where it's like, if I was 25 and someone said something bad about me, like I would be like, oh my God, why don't they like me? But then now it's just like, oh, I don't have time for these fools. No. Like, so I just block. I'm like Dikembe Mutombo and I just block them. That's it. So
I do a lot of blocking as well. And as far as like the emails go, I literally just block and shuffle them into the crazy folder, just in case. This is live. Someone asked if this is live.
It is live. It is live, Greg. Yeah, thanks for watching. We appreciate it.
But just in case anyone says anything or it leads to something more than that, I've got them saved for evidence because I've just had some weird experiences, but I'm not engaging them. Like I'm not going to email them back or anything. No, thank you.
Well, the other thing too is whenever one finds out that I'm a comedian and a lawyer, they're like, "Don't quit your day job." I was like, "Okay, that's the worst one," and I get paid to do both. So like, it's like you can tell me that all you want.
Yeah, but, so I guess you got 2 more jobs than what they got. That's
exactly. That's what I've said. I've said that to someone when they heckled me on stage. That's my usually go to. This has been a lot of fun. I love catching up with another lawyer that's on YouTube and. So I definitely, if you want to hold on 1 second, I'm going to end real quick and then I'll end this and I'll chat with you for a minute if you don't mind. Sure. So thanks so much. Do you want to, let's talk about what your live video. Yes.
Yeah. So guys, my channel is, I'm exhausted. I have been at work. I've been working since like 5 a.m. My channel is Natalielawyerchick, all spelled out. And on Friday, I have a 20,000 subscriber live stream at 8 p.m. Really excited. We hit 20,000 earlier on Saturday, I think, something like that. And I was out of town visiting my mom, and so I couldn't, do anything. So I bumped it a week, and we're gonna have a good old time. It's gonna be fun.
That's so cool. Congratulations!
I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Yeah. I'm look 21,700. I was trying to check the number.
Oh wow, that's great.
It's really great. Like I'm really very, very lucky. Very, very lucky.
And Sean says he's in the first 400, so he's an OG. There you go.
Oh,
nice.
Hey, that's so nice. Thank you.
That's cool.
Wow.
Natalie, thanks so much for joining me. Make sure you follow and subscribe so she can get to 220,000. So,
thanks so much. My day job then.
There you go. Thanks so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. And thanks, Natalie. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. Really appreciate you tuning in. Natalie's great, isn't she? She's fantastic. Yes, Sean, you did say that she was nice, and you were spot on. That's the one I wanted to share. So thanks, Sean. And so, yeah, tune in tomorrow. I will do another live video because I got 365 to do this year. So thanks so much. Have a good rest of your night, everybody. All right, bye.